Missed it. I missed it again. I was so close this time as well. So close to actually hitting the right time. But no, we missed it. I have a little timer now. I've got a little timer on my desk so that I know when to switch over. But that relies on me being in any fit state to do anything. Which, currently, I don't know. I'm better than I was. I'm better than I was. Hello. Hello, everybody. Who have we got? Defang, Snail Mail Games. Excellent name, Snail Mail. Kurosu Fenris Wolf. Hello. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Raccoon Trash. Hello, Liv. Hello, Winham. Yep, we're here with the Pratchett reference. With the Weatherwax nod. Chris DV, Karsten, Zingbo. Serviathrax. There we go. The Gitmans take 2. Gur, Plebiscide. Hello, Plebiscide. Oliver, Chris. How are we all doing? I'm sorry, Krychek? Is that close? Is that even remotely close? Catherine. Last Bard of Cadia. Sorry, Last Bard of Cadia. Hello, Aaron. Oh, just on the way back home from a 30k event by March of War Element. Interesting. How did that go? Was that fun? Hello, Patrick. Hello, Aaron. Got 2 Aarons. That's confusing, but it's fine. I'll work it out. How are we all doing? We all good? Finally have the opportunity to get hold of some Deathwing. Be nice, wouldn't it? Be good. Does that mean there was actually some stock? I'm assuming there was no stock once again. Hello, hero. Yeah, watch this and put my Seraphim Scarvet together. Nice. Cool. I did a bit of painting over the weekend. A little bit. I did a bit of tank work. But not a lot of tank work. Not a huge amount. Oh, no, not Wisdom Teeth. Wisdom Teeth are the worst. Good morning, Rob. I'll be honest, I don't have all that much in terms of plans for this one. I also don't know how long it's going to be, this stream. I'll warn you now. I'm trying to ease back into it. Just ease back into it. It's been an interesting week, so... Hello, Fel. Yeah, Granny Weatherwax for the win. 3D printer just shipped. Awesome. You'll be lucky. 24-hour stream. 24-minute stream, more like. Hello, Sylvu. I'm not a player at heart, but seeing the new Kroot is making me contemplate purchasing some Tau models. I mean, to be fair, the new Kroot look ridiculous. Also, actually, that's something we can have a very quick chat about. A little bit. Well, we'll wait for people to get in. If we go straight in, then we end up talking about the topic, and then most of the people watching don't actually catch what we were going to talk about. Although, given there's no real plan for this one, that's not necessarily that much of an issue. I should probably tell people, shouldn't we? Should probably tell people that we're live. Hello, Coma Cobra. Just got my first Warhammer box. That one person Tyranid Hornbeguns will be my first. Awesome, nice. Good morning, James. Thank you, Coruscant. I'm pretty glad as well. Fairy Gothmother, excellent name. Excellent name. Oh, I was so prepared, like fully prepared for actually sticking to the proposed schedule of doing the 3 days last week. And then literally Monday I was like, okay, I've got everything planned out for what I'm going to do for the next week. I've got it all listed. I know what I'm about, what I'm going to be doing. And then immediately got hit with such a random illness. I am not dead, Doors Combine. I just felt like I was going to be. Hello, Pedro. The box was missing the sprue for the Deathwing Knights, but the store is sending a replacement one once they come out individually. Oh, cool. That's a pain, though. Hello, Chris. yeah, it's this week has also totally trashed the channel. Like, it's absolutely ruined the channel. Taking a week off because I didn't have anything like stacked up to release during the week. So watch times plummeted, ad revenues absolutely collapsed, and of course no streams means that there's been no, which is totally understandable, but there's not been much in the way of new members or super chats or anything like that, which is, streams are what makes that happen, and there's been nothing. Nothing. So a little bit frustrating, but we will build back. It'll be fine. Hopefully this week I can get round to actually doing all the things I wanted to do last week. I tell you what, do you want to see? Oh, thank you, Chris. That's very kind of you. Do you want to see what I got? Do you want to see what I got? Because I didn't know this was a thing. And it was rough. So the reason I've been super quiet, and the reason I had issues from Monday onwards last week, was this trigeminal neuralgia. Basically, your nerve goes absolutely haywire and wreck the side of your head and your face. Like, I don't know how else to phrase it. That's what happened to me on Monday. So we had the normal, we had the stream on Monday, and we were all good, and we were, all fine. And then I literally, in the evening, got up to go from the living room into my little studio area here, sat down and was like, oh, the side of my head feels weirdly sensitive. That's odd. And then I was like, I touched the side of my head, and it was like someone just stabbed me in the eye, and just the whole side of my face and the back of my head. And I was like, oh, this is actually really bad. What the hell is this? Okay, I'm sure maybe it's an allergic reaction. I'll go to sleep, go to bed, and then I'll see what happens. Tuesday, it was a bit worse, and it was swollen, around there. And I was like, okay, well, that's not great, but that lines up with it being an allergic reaction. So we'll just give it another 24 hours or so. And then on Wednesday, it was so bad that we called the doctor, and I got an emergency appointment, which was actually super, super good, super helpful. NHS came through, because I was like, hey, I've got this really horrendous problem. And they were like, yeah, you come in right now. You come in and see us immediately, please. So I went in, and I was talking to the doctor, and he was just sat there going,
damn, that sucks. Anyway, here's some money.
Thank you very much, Dawes. That is greatly appreciated in these genuinely difficult times. Welcome in Jim as well. Welcome into the gang. So I went to the doctor, and he sat there. It was like 9:45, I want to say, and he was just sat there holding his face and sighing as I spoke, and he was like, I don't know what this is. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, there's a couple of things it could be. And I was like, to be fair, I didn't come in because I have migraines fairly frequently. So having head pain for 2 days, migraines. I was just like, whatever this is, it'll sort itself out, because whenever I have migraines, I take medication, it sorts itself out. But paracetamol, ibuprofen, nothing touched it. And they gave me some medication on the Wednesday, and I started taking it Wednesday. But then Wednesday night, I don't know how to properly describe it to you. Every time I moved enough to raise my heart rate even slightly, the side of my head was so sensitive that it made my head hurt so badly that it nearly caused a panic attack every time it happened. So I couldn't lie on that side. I also couldn't lie on the other side, because just the weight of the skin on my face made the nerve painful. So there was no position where I wasn't in agonizing pain, and I was just lying there with tears streaming out of my face, and every time I moved it felt like I was gonna die, and I was just like, what do we do? Eventually passed out at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Woke up at 9 o'clock. My wife woke me up so I could take my medication. And I woke up and I thought I was dreaming because I woke up with just a mild, like, headache and nothing else. And this wasn't, like, trying to kill me. And that was Thursday. So by Thursday, the medication had kicked in a little bit. I only started taking it on Wednesday, but it kicked in enough that I could actually function relatively. And yeah, it's just been interesting. It's been an interesting week. Although now, literally everyone I've spoken to, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are like, yeah, why did you wait to go to the doctors? And it's like, because I get migraines all the time. I get migraines. So, like, having head pain is like, oh no, I've got head pain. That's what a migraine is most of the time for me. But yeah, next time, gonna go straight to the doctor. I am now, thankfully, in a position where the meds have worked well enough that I don't have pain. Like, I can touch the side of my head. Also, the really weird thing was, it was super sensitive, super painful. But if I pressed my hand or my knuckles into the side of my head hard enough, it stopped hurting. It just went away completely. It was so nice. Like, the pressure fixed it, but it only fixed it temporarily, and then it was worse when it came back. So yeah, it's now it's just getting used to the medication, because the medication's making me tired. So I'll do things for a little bit, and then I get so tired I end up falling asleep, which is a little bit rough. But yeah, it's been interesting. This is what happened, Goof. Hang on, the minor recap is this this page here. That happened, and it's where your nerve goes all mental and you are in agonising pain for a bit. Also, alright, do not Google this stuff. Do not Google what you've just been told you have, right? Because I Googled it, and then I read things like this regularly for days, weeks, or months at a time. And then it's like, it'll improve or disappear. Although it tends to get shorter the amount of time it disappears. And then it's like, it'll have a significant impact on your quality of life. I regretted reading that. I was like, oh God. Oh no. I don't want to read that. That all just seems awful. That seems genuinely terrible. What am I going to do now? But it's mostly, like, the medication has sorted it for now. So, like, got to finish this course, and then we'll find out whether it comes back. If it comes back, then more stuff will have to be done. But things like blood tests and scans and whatever are already in progress. So yeah, fun times. Fun times. I did think, like, maybe I've just got, like, some sort of tooth thing, but it's not. It's all the telling thing was absolutely no pain in the jaw, teeth, anything like that. It was all in my eyeball, and the back of my head, and everything round here is really atrocious. So, thank you, Donra. Yeah, that'll teach you to blamelessly exist. I was just minding my own business. I was feeling really good after Monday's stream. Like, last Monday's stream, I was like, I've got a good plan for things. You know? I've got a good plan. I know what I'm going to do for the next kind of preparing to launch the hobby channel and stuff. I also had, like, a bunch of emails that I need to get sorted, but I just wasn't capable of doing it. So I was like, I need to reply to all these people. Oh no, but I can't reply to them. Like, I actually can't, because I physically wasn't capable of doing it. So yeah. That's got to be this afternoon. There was an exciting one as well that I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to. I'm gonna have a quick look, but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure whether I can make it. I'd like to. I'd really like to. Depends on when it is. Oh, you know what? I might be able to make that. I'll have to check. But yeah, I need to I need to reply to people. It's so bad. It's so bad when you're not able to get stuff done. No worries, unsanctioned goof. Thank you for dropping by. But yeah, I'm getting there, gang. Oh, welcome in, Alexin. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely on the mend. And the NHS can be challenging at times. Hilariously, I'm still waiting for a referral for scans for my migraines. But when I called and was like, I have agonizing pain inside of my head, they immediately got me in, and they got me sorted out. So even if it did feel like I genuinely thought that I'd ruined the guy's day at like 9:45, because when I've been to the doctor for stuff before, I've never once seen one of them sit there and just go, so wait, so tell me again. So it's like it's there, right? And then kind of sit there and just be like, okay. I was just like, I'm sorry, dude, but you know, it's just I'm just not doing so good, you know. I'm just not doing so good. But yeah, the sheer like just the sheer kind of despair was amazing to watch. Hello, James Allen. Thank you very much. Excellent dad joke there, Danny. Like that. Oh yeah. I tell you what. I need to try and find a private practice around here to look into ADHD, just because of how scatterbrained I've been for a long time. But therapist has been like, you should probably look into this. I suspect that this might make a difference to you, but I'm not going to bother going to the NHS for it, because it'll take forever and a day to get anything. Even any sort of assessment will take forever, so that's got to be a private thing, but private costs money, so... It is, Alexin. It's like, it's still kind of stuck in the past in some ways, and it's also horrendously underfunded. So... It's not great. Although, if it's like an emergency, 9 times out of 10, they're fantastic. Every time I've had a real emergency, they've been, you know, right there. It's just if it's a case of, you know, trying to get referrals for stuff, it all breaks down. Hello, David Rollo. Hello, the Evergreen Druid. But yeah, we're on the mend. We're on the mend. We're getting there. Just get used to managing the sleepy side of things, and then it'll be good. Then it'll be fine. And kind of hope that once I finish the course of medication, it doesn't come back. Because if it does, that's going to be a pain. But we'll see. We'll see. There's like... I've got like 42... It's 42 days worth. So... We'll see. Been about 2 years and still waiting for my ADHD assessment on the NHS. Yeah, it's yeah. It's not great. So something that I did think we could talk about just briefly, because I obviously I value you, gang, and I want to know what you think of something here, because 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago, I did something that was a bit cheeky, but it made me laugh when I thought about it. The wait list for trans healthcare is absolutely horrific on the NHS. It's horrendous. You know what, Alexin? Funnily enough, Stoke is where I ended up when I had kidney stones. It's where my Nana ended up when she had her stroke, and it's where my first daughter was born. You know, all three emergencies, and they were amazing. But I have heard that it's bad now, just due to being completely overworked and not having enough people. Partner request to go through Psychology UK from the GP took about 8 weeks. Oh, interesting, Dunra. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna just put that in a little notepad. That's interesting. As I started typing, it auto-corrected. So, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Colin and Decknell, I'm still here. can't get rid of me that easily or something. Also, 4 new members already. It is lovely. Thank you so much, everyone. Right. I need to draw your attention to something and ask like whether what I'm thinking is just it's too much. Whether it's too much, okay? So oh, you know it, believer. Oh yeah, Dagnall, Garda S tier. Actually, that reminds me, before we do the thing that I was about to do, this is so disjointed already. So, tanks, right? Don't look at the bottom. Don't look at the bottom of the tanks. Don't look at the bottom of the tanks. Tanks, right? I am taking tanks to Mikey's tournament. We agreed on that, right? We agreed on that. We agreed I was taking the tank army. So, 7 Baneblades? No. 7 Lehman Russes, Baneblade. Now, we had toyed with the idea of doing 2 Baneblades, 2 Rogel Dawns, but it's horrendously expensive to buy them. And the rest Lehman Russes, right? I've spoken to Mikey, and I've had doubts. I've had doubts about taking the 2 Baneblades. Like, taking 2 Baneblades. It is 2 plasmas. See, I wanted this to be an executioner, but I didn't want to put sponsons on it. But I wanted it to have plasma cannon sponsons. So I just gave it 2 executioner plasma cannons on the turret as a counts as thing. And then the Punisher technically has got the Punisher Gatling cannon and 3 heavy bolters, but instead it's just got 2 Punisher Gatling cannons as a counts as. So I like it. I like doing a little bit of tank kit bashing. So talked to Mikey a little bit, had a bit of a think. 2 Baneblades would be kind of funny. I'm not going to deny that. It would be funny. It also, I worry that it would also make the games a slog, because 2 Baneblades, they won't be able to move anywhere. 1 Baneblade won't be able to move anywhere. I'm still taking it. I'm still taking my Baneblade. I love my Baneblade. I love the Witch Hammer. It's one of my favourite models I've ever done. I absolutely love it. But it's already going to be a bit shit, because it won't be able to move. The way that the terrain is set up is like, it can't get across the board. Having 2 of them means that a good chunk of my 2,000 points, in fact, like 960 of my 2,000 points, is just stuck in deployment because they can't go anywhere. Which, it'd be funny to put 2 down, but the initial thing of it being funny isn't necessarily going to translate to it being fun to play against. And I don't want my games against other people to be a slog, you know? Like, I'm already well out of practice with 40k. I'm going to go and have a game with Mikey as soon as I've finished these and grabbed another couple of models, just to finish the army off. But I don't, like, the initial punchline of, look, it's 2 Baneblades, is only the first bit of the match, you know? It's only the first bit of the game. And then both of us are going to have to deal with the fact that there's 2 massive tanks stuck at the back of the board, unable to do anything. And I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want my games to be frustrating or a slog for my opponent because I decided to bring a funny meme army, you know? Hello, go for a painting. So I'm not going to do that. I did, depending on what happens when the Malkador plastic kit is brought out, I may well end up subbing a couple of Lehman Russes for a Rogel Dawn. Oh, actually, that's a thing, Richard. I'll have to double check with him. Although he's had some really, like, he's had some pretty wild armies at his tournaments before. I'll just send him a couple of pictures and just be like, hey, is this cool? Because if not, I need to know. But we may well end up, if that's capable of, you know, using a Malkador as a Rogel Dawn, if that's allowed as well. But right now, I've got the 7 Lehman Russes and I've got the Baneblade. I have most of an army, but I'm missing 280 points, 260 points. So, what I'm thinking is I'm going to take a couple of Knight Armiger allies, because I've been thinking about that for ages anyway. I've been thinking about the idea of having 2, like, escorts for the Baneblade that are walkers, because I just really like the imagery of that. And they'll be, like, absolutely covered in candles and parchment and stuff, and, like, really kind of hardcore looking religious stuff going on with them. But that takes me to, I mean, there'll be balance changes and I'm sure points will change, but 2,000 points on the nose. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment, that I take the 7 Russes, I take the Baneblade, and I take 2 Knight Armigers, and that would be a fun army. Like, that would be a fun army. I'd have a nice range of weapons. I'd have a fun kind of addition to it. I did think Sentinels, David, but the thing with Sentinels is that, I don't know, I just prefer I think I prefer the loadout on the Armigers. I think I prefer the loadout, like the autocannons, and I prefer the look. With the way, what I'm going to do with them, they're going to look different. I'm going to kit bash them a bit. So they're going to be a bit less knight-y and a bit more Guard-esque. I don't know how to describe it because I need them in front of me to really show you, but I don't have the kit yet. But yeah, that's the current plan, because that would be fun. That would be really fun. So yeah, I'd still have a Baneblade, because I desperately want to take the Baneblade. I really want to take it because I really love the model that I've made for it and the kit bash that I've done and the way that I've changed it up. I really like it. Plus, it means I can find the little speaker, the little speaker that I've got, and put it in the guard tank, and I can have the haunted noises coming out of it, which would be really fun. Now I've still got the 7 Russes that I've already built and mostly painted. Hopefully going to finish those this week. I wanted to last week, but then but then I nearly died. That's an exaggeration. I didn't, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that's the plan. 7 Russes with a Baneblade and two Armiger Guardians for the Baneblade. Like, that's a fun army. That's a fun army. So that's what I'm planning to do. But I will double check with Mikey in terms of what you see is what you get. I mean, to be fair, the Baneblade, even though it's not got a turret, it's just got the Baneblade loadout, so there's nothing different there. There's absolutely nothing different weapon-wise going on. It's just the same as it was. So that's fine. But yeah, with things like these two, these are the two that I'm most kind of like different weapon-wise. I do have a Vanquisher that doesn't have a turret, so it's got a tank destroyer vibe. In fact, I'll just grab it so you can see it. It's easier that way. Come on. Like, I got that. Arguably, there's a little bit of... You could argue there's a little bit of modelling for advantage going on there, which is not what I'd intended. I just wanted something cool. So, look, he's even got a bit of, like, netting over the gun. Bit of leftover medical gauze. So, yeah. It's not actually that different, to be fair. It's not actually that different. And I'd be happy to... I've been kind of tempted to put them on some sort of base, and I could raise this one up more. It's a little bit different, but... I'm perfectly happy to put this on like a little base that's like sort of track sized and raise it up a bit so that it's the right height. Because I'm not here to try and rob someone of the shot they could otherwise take. I mean, the Baneblade is taller than it was before. It's got a bunch of stuff sticking out the top of it, which makes it actually bigger than it was. I'm just gonna leave them as is, Rich. I like that some of them, realistically, like, provided people are happy with it, these two have sponsons but don't have sponsons because I've incorporated the additional ones into like the main armaments. But for this Vanquisher, I'm just not gonna bother. It's just not gonna have those weapons. It's got the last cannon. It's got the Vanquisher cannon. So it's like, it's not efficient points wise. It's not efficient. It's a bit of a waste since the turret, the sponsons are free. But I don't care. I just don't care. I like how this looks. This looks how I want it to. It looks like a tank hunter. So that's it. Everything else has got sponsons attached. So they're technically, already properly equipped. Them making sponsons free was dumb, I'm afraid. Sponsons being free was just a mad decision. I do not understand why they did it at all. I wouldn't be surprised if they reverse it at some point. I've just been talking on and on. What have I missed? Kirath kit bashing impossible. I don't know what you're talking about. Needs death strikes? I mean, death strikes would be funny. Redmaker's new armigers. Ooh, Redmaker's is... Ooh. Yeah, the Baneblade can have 2 sets. I'm not putting 2 sets on my Baneblade because 2 sets on that particular model would look stupid, so I'm not doing it. Look, I'm all about the fashion, right? Same approach that I take with Dark Souls and Elden Ring. It's all about the fashion. I don't care how good it is. Well, okay. Now I need to have a look at Redmakers to see their new armigers, because, I mean, I could always just print some, couldn't I? Could always just print some. Good morning, Traitor Guardsman. Apart from taking a coachload of hyper kids to games day... Oh, Lord. That's going to be interesting. You're braver than me, David. Good Lord. Okay. So... Oh, interesting. Interesting. Right, let's have a quick glance here. So, is it these? Is it these you're talking about? Overboard. Because that looked quite the quite the thing. Come on. There we go. That is chunky. What is the positioning on that? Solar walkers. Oh, okay. So not these then. This is basically the new. This is the new. What is it? Athon Heavy Sentinel, whatever it is, but a bit more, a bit more mad. The positioning on that chainsaw is making me laugh. Right. Let's. Solid battle tank looks good actually. I like the way they've done that. Right. Am I being blind? Oh, can I just search? Oh, I can't, can I? Oh, wait, no. Imperial Force. Good grief. There's a lot. It's been a while since I've checked out Red Makers. They've really expanded their stuff. I did just click that, didn't I? Yeah, okay, no, I didn't. There we go. I've just got a Macarius Vulcan for my Traitor Guard. Oh, solid. Nice. Oh god, a Macarius Vulcan. Am I being blind? I'm probably being blind, aren't I? Looks more like Sentinel alternatives. I do like their tanks though. Their tanks are really cool. Red Makers as a whole, I mean, I quite like a bit of Red Makers. I do quite like a bit of Red Makers. They're relatively close to what Games Workshop do, but they're also stylistically fairly different. Nice to hear. Okay. Oh dear. Oh god, Raging Modeler. That's horrendous. What? That's not fair. Two cars written off since December. Ugh. That sucks. I'm sorry. Right. Sorry, I know I'm looking off to the side. It's because I've got the main window is Oh, there we go. Oh, it's just the plane. Okay. I'm not sure about that plane, you know. I'm not sure about the plane. Oh, you know what? You know what, though? You know what I've just thought of? I think I might have. You know, I really can't stand how my mini factory does this. I'm looking for Golden Dragon Games. There we go. Because I'm pretty sure that there is an armature of... Ooh, oh, they've added more stuff. That looks cool. Right. I'm pretty sure they added an armature-sized walker that I have. Because they've added me to their, like, sort of, not like press thing, but like... Oh, where is it? Where's it gone? Did I scroll past it? I could have sworn there was... Yes, there we go. I'm pretty sure this was an armature sized mech. I do like these. I like them a lot. Golden Dragon games are fantastic. They really are. Armature proxy, 100mm, similar loadout. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. Nice. I mean, the Saturn 3's over there just sitting there, so that is an option. That's quite a good option as well. And to be fair, it's very tempting, especially since they also gave me access to this thing, which is absolutely solid, and I love it. It's so good. That, and when I eventually do come to having a... Oh, wait a second. Where is it? Why am I talking about getting a second Baneblade when this exists? When this is a thing. Why? Oh, the Tank Hunter version. Oh, look at it. Oh my god. Why am I not just doing... They've added more options. It's got more options now. Oh. Okay. Alright. I need to buy some resin. I need to get some resin. Because... Look at it. Look. Just look. It's so good. It's so good. Alright, this is absolutely not anything close to what we were talking about, but now I'm just like looking at these and going, I clearly need these in my life, don't I? Hell yes. Especially that. That is activating some neurons right there. That, and I love this. The big ramp on the front, the two Vulcan... Oh, the... Alright, let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down a little bit. See, this is the thing. I honestly, I can't shout out Golden Dragon games enough because they make incredible models. They're so cool. They also had a Rogel Dawn-sized tank before the Rogel Dawn was even out, which was a bit mad. I think it was it this one? Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure this was... Or was it an earlier one? They did something that was like Rogel Dawn-sized just before the Rogel Dawn was even available. And I don't... It wasn't even that close either. They were like well ahead of the game. But yeah. Now I'm just like, oh, I need to start a second tank army, but made entirely out of Golden Dragon Games tanks. Take a long time to print all this, though. Need to crowdfund a Jupiter or something so I can print one tank at a time. Anyway, that's not even remotely what we were going to talk about. So basically, yeah, what we're going to do, is we're going to do 2 armatures. We're going to do 2 armatures to go with the 7 Leman Russes and the 1 Baneblade. That way, I still get to take the Baneblade. It's still going to be a lot of fun having a Baneblade there, and I still get to put a Baneblade down, but I also will have a lot of actual movable units that won't just be stuck in the deployment zone, etc., etc. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. So I need to get a couple of armatures, but once that's done, I'll be good. I'll have a usable army. I don't have the codex for Knights or for Imperial Guard, but whatever. That's a problem to be solved later. That's cold now. That's cold. That's cold. Not happy about that. Not at all happy. Right. The thing we were originally going to talk about. Oh my god. Hello, Sindri. So, there's been a shift, right? There's been a shift, gang. There's been a definite shift. Contentious or negative titles on videos. They do better. They just do. They just do better than positive titles, right? They just do better. There's no two ways about it. And this is extremely heavily reinforced by something that I did 2 weeks ago, right? Which wasn't even intentional. I thought I was making a little joke. I thought I was just, being silly. But my being silly resulted in one of the most popular videos that I've made for, a good few weeks. Can you see some sort of pattern here, right? So, 3 weeks ago, Games Workshop fought back and lost 18,000 views. 18,000 views. It's pretty good. Ideally, what you really want is as a baseline, what you kind of want is 10% of your subscribers as views, right? That's the baseline. More than that is what you really want, but your base is what is that. Then we have the event miniatures. AOS is the winner. That 5.3. Okay, 5.3. Then best Warhammer mech just dropped. 8.8. That's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. That's okay. That's okay. But talking about the Kroot, every Kroot video I've done, because I've been positive about them and positive in the actually in the video, they've been doing terrible for views. Absolutely terrible for views. Even a outright intentionally kind of clickbaity title, which was "What the hell is going on with this chaos unit?" That was made as a bit more clickbaity than I normally like to do. Still only 8.1. This moaf right here, this thing, this is a betrayal by Games Workshop. 42,000 views. 42,000. 42,000 views on just a, frankly, bog standard model review. That's it. It's no different. There is literally nothing different about this video other than the title. The content, the premise, the aim, the goal is exactly the same as this one, this one, this one, and this one. I mean, admittedly, I'm unreasonably happy about New Tanks actually did really well. But that is mostly because I think at this point, you guys, you are fully aware. You are fully aware that I like my tanks. So I understand why that one did well. But, lukewarm to positive titles net me either below what I'm looking for, which is that 10% baseline, or they net me that sort of baseline. Negative, Games Workshop fought back and lost, 18k, and this is a betrayal, 42k. Now, I'm not going to lie, I keep looking at that video, and I keep thinking to myself, you know what? This is a golden opportunity, right? This is a golden opportunity, gang, because there is a lot of negativity. And when it comes to things like business practices, lack of stock, issues with how Games Workshop sometimes approach communication, there are issues with the company, for sure. But when it comes to the miniatures themselves, which is what primarily I'm interested in, although I am also more than happy to call out when they do something overtly stupid or charge, an absurd amount for something that, frankly, doesn't seem to be worth that much on the surface of it, like talking about these. The goddamn Varangard. Would it be too too much? Would it be too cheeky? Too horrendous? Too dishonest, I guess, to roll with the more negative titles, but use them to inject the positivity about the models that I like? Would that be too cheeky? Would that just be taking the piss? Because this is a betrayal by Games Workshop was literally just about the fact that it wasn't painted either Iron Warriors or Imperial Fists. That was the entire basis for that title. It was very throwaway. It was like it was making a big thing out of a very small thing, but only in the title itself. I mean, yeah, Decknell, this is a betrayal by Games Workshop. It's hilarious to us who know your sense of humour, and it's an attention-grabbing title for anyone who doesn't know you. That's the thing. It's like, I put that as the title because I was like, you know what? It's like a fraction of the video, but it would be pretty funny. It would be pretty funny to put that as the title. Like, if there's something in the model that I'm not a big fan of, like, I can't believe Games Workshop did this, or what were Games Workshop thinking, or like that sort of thing. But is it? I would find that funny because it's like a subversion of what is very popular. It's a subversion of the idea of, you know, everything is bad, everything is rubbish, you know, anything that Games Workshop does is a failure. It's a subversion of that, but I also feel like it's a bit dishonest, and it would lead to too much, like, negativity. I don't know. I'm really struggling with it, because it's something that I'd find very funny, and I'd find very funny every single time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that other people would find it very funny. They may just think this person is a liar, and that's not really what I'm going for, you know? Hello, Maisie18. Hope everyone's having a good day, night, whatever time it may be for you. I think we're doing pretty good, thank you. Are you okay? Hello, Spartan Martin. Yep, still here. As long as it's not overused, yeah. Games Workshop kicked my dog. That's pretty funny. Ate my homework. I find it funny, so others surely do too. It's a bit meta. Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of, I guess it's striking a balance. It's striking a balance between being ironic and kind of I don't want it. I also don't want it to look like an attack on people, because it's not an attack on people. Like the name that comes up most when it comes to like negative coverage and negative content and like negative videos is Discourse. Now, I know Discourse. I feel like people don't believe me sometimes when I say this. Discourse is lovely. Like, she's genuinely incredibly nice. She's super friendly. She is more than happy to have, like, I've sent her stuff that I've been working on for the channel and been like, can you give me can you look this over? She has got time for people. And when you talk to her about 40k, like Games Workshop products specifically, she likes them. Like, she does. She actively does. Which is why she quite often goes like kind of hard into that side of things. It is actually coming from a place of, I like this thing. Which I realise a lot of people just don't believe me when I say that sometimes, which I feel is a bit of a shame because of like how nice she is. But yeah, I also don't want to give the impression that I'm just like going after people who do that, because the fact is, her channel technically, like subscribers wise, is smaller than mine. Hers outperforms mine. Like, it just does massively. Like, she started a D&D channel, and it gets loads of views because she has the same formula across both, and it works. And I can't fault someone for doing what works, but it's also, again, coming from that place of, well, if I didn't like this thing, I wouldn't invest this much time into talking about it. So, yeah. But I don't want it to seem like an attack on that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Go for it. Algorithm is probably pushing certain content, so you're feeding it the right fuel rather than deceiving anyone. Yeah, that's fair. I remember a day when Games Workshop did sales and offers, like the 100th store opening, where you could get the. Oh yeah. Oh god, that was a long time ago. Just don't force it. If it's funny and works both ways, go for it. But don't try to force a moment for the title. Yeah, that's also a thing, Alex. That's the other thing. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to go fully like, fully like, I actually really like this model, but I'm going to pretend that I don't. That's not what I built the channel on. Absolutely no way. No way. I think that's the case with a lot of negative coverage of Warhammer. It comes from a place of genuine passion. Yeah, I think a lot of the time it is. Recruit is very niche to a small audience. That is true. That is true. I mean, that's probably a whole discussion to have. A whole discussion to have as to just how popular the crew actually are with, like, especially newer players. Like, realistically, would newer players even care about the crew coming back? Like, am I excited about it because it has that nostalgia factor, and that nostalgia factor is totally missing for a lot of people? You know? I don't think I've ever heard of Warhammer Man. I'd have to have a look. I usually actively stay away from negative posts if I don't like something that keeps myself. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't tend to watch a lot of negative content. I mean, actually, to be fair, I don't tend to watch a huge amount of Warhammer content. I don't tend to watch that much of it. I mean, my recommended like the homepage of my YouTube is an absolute mess because I've also like pulled up videos for my kids on it and stuff. So it's like an absolute catastrophe. But the stuff that's aimed at me is guitar reviews and like gear reviews and stuff. Like instructional videos on like world building, so like writing and stuff. And a lot of drag racing content. It's very rarely anything to do with Warhammer. I'll watch Mikey and I'll watch Liam stream, but only if I've got the time. Like if I'm free at that moment and I haven't got other stuff I like desperately need to do. And I have now started to. I've lurked a little bit in a couple of Valrak streams. I've only talked in one, but I've lurked a little bit in a couple of others. And yeah, but a lot of what I watch is nothing to do with Warhammer. I need to watch some goddamn battle reports again so that I can remember how to play. I've played a fair bit of AOS, but 40k I haven't touched for ages. You know, I've not had a 10th edition game yet, which is really bad. Really bad. Ah, well, you're getting the crossover now, Alexin. Once a month, you're getting the crossover between me and Adeptus Ridiculous, which I'm still in a little bit of disbelief about that. I'm still in a little bit of disbelief. I'm just very, very, like, I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. But I don't know. I get a lot of imposter syndrome. So when we were initially first talking about it, a little part of me couldn't help but be like, this probably isn't going to last though, is it? Because I'm not actually supposed to be here. And when it's announced, people are going to be really unhappy because I'm not supposed to be here. But yeah, it's I really enjoy going on Adeptus Ridiculous. So I'm really glad that that's become a more constant thing. Oh yeah, I mean you know there are so many there's so many ideas that I've had for that last episode of the month. So many. The thing is, I'm very drawn towards doing things that are like. I'm very drawn towards doing things that are kind of older. Like more sort of between like 3rd and 5th edition, because that's like when I had the most. Before coming back to the hobby, those are the times that I was like playing the most and collecting the most, and like I don't know. A lot's changed since those times, so I'm always kind of I feel a bit drawn to bringing that to more people's attention. Like something that I found super interesting was when we covered the 13th Black Crusade in last month's episode. I pitched that as the idea, and was like, well, you know, we can talk about this, and we can talk about the codex and so on and so forth, and Shai pointed out that it's like that was canon. That was the thing that happened for like, however, what was it, like 13 years or whatever, and that, you know, that's just how things were. And I didn't really think about that. I more thought about the fact that, you know, things had changed and that Games Workshop had retconned a lot of that and made it very different to what it was. And then I kind of felt like, well, there'll be people who have no idea, surely. There'll be people who have no idea. There's got to be one or two that just have no clue. And then the reaction to that episode, so many people were like, wait, there was a different ending to the 13th Black Crusade? There was a different ending? What are you talking about? Like, genuinely surprised. They had no idea that up until that point, 40k had existed in a post-13th Black Crusade state, and that, like, it had been retconned to introduce all this other stuff. So, it was super interesting, the reaction to that. Just the fact that people had no idea. A surprising number of people had no idea. And it also made me feel incredibly old. Really old. Battles for Armageddon. Yeah, that'd be a good one. I mean, God knows there's plenty to choose from. Not as many options for equipping and making your army unique anymore. That's true. The algorithm is surprisingly heavy-handed. You watch one thing about dump trucks, here's 5,000 more about dump trucks. Yeah, you are not wrong. You're not wrong. The algorithm is it doesn't work. It's not functional anymore. You watch one thing and it's like, hey, well, that's clearly all you're looking for. It's the same thing with Amazon, right? I'm looking at ways of mounting the guitars to that wall, but there's a bunch of wires behind the wall and they're all over the shop, like between the plaster and the brickwork. And so I'm looking at stuff as ways to get those guitars up and have them like more as a bit of a display kind of thing. And I looked for guitar like hangers on YouTube, on Amazon. I'm starting to get tired. And now Amazon is just 100% ways to hang your guitar. It's like I looked for it once. Just once. Can you please stop? Stop it. I do not need to see this many. Like, I just don't need to see this many versions of this one thing that I looked at. Leave me alone. It's so annoying. Not as bad as a friend of mine who bought a toilet seat and then Amazon the next day recommended a pack of 4 toilet seats. It's like, I'm not collecting them. I just needed a toilet seat. Why are you... Ugh. Might be interesting to talk about the original Horus Heresy, such as how there are a lot more traitor Primarchs. That's quite a good call as well. Oh, I'll tell you what, this is great. I'm not going to have to do any... I'm not going to have to come up with any ideas. No, that's not true. Codex Armageddon was peak 40k. Oh, see, for me it was Codex Eye of Terror. Although then again, the 3.5 Chaos Codex I still maintain is like my absolute favourite codex overall. Loved that codex. Absolutely loved it. Can we soon get a tank army update video? Yeah. 100%. I mean, I'm hoping to finish painting the goddamn tanks this week, so you know what? Let's have a when was the last tank update video I did? It's got to have been a while ago, right? Because it was... Oh, Armoured Company Project Log number 1. Did I ever do a second log for that? Did I? I don't think I did I? Wow, that's poor. That's really poor. I thought I'd done more than that. Nope. Oh, 2 years ago? Wait, when was this? 2 years ago? When 2 years ago? What date was it? 12th of March. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting close to 3 years. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? What's even in this? Oh, it's just the Baneblade that's in this video. Okay, that's why. Yeah, I got distracted with other things since then. I got very distracted with other things since then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's just the Witch Hammer in this video. I think I just finished making it because it was originally going to be something else, and then I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to make this into Armoured Company, and then I got distracted with it'll have been all this nonsense, you know. It'll have been all of that there, the Soulblight Gravelord's army, then these, so those dreadnoughts up there, and the Gargants that I made up there as well, and then the what are they called? Those things, Cosmic Horror Mega Gargants, and the Cosmic Horror Mega Gargants. So I got distracted with lots of other projects. that's what's happened there. And so much painting for D&D. So much painting for D&D. There's a whole massive box over there that is just full of painted scenery for D&D, which probably explains where a lot of that time's gone. It's not gone on tanks, apparently. It's not gone on tanks. Do you think you'll do any more range reviews? Yes, Jestology. 100%. Yes. Hello, Erica. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you could drop by. I hope you're doing good. Talk about the Ultra Smurf Chief Librarian was half Eldar. You know what? Ruskin says? I did do a tank painting stream, but I realised that trying to stream and paint, for whatever reason, I used to do that. But it made me really mess up some of the painting on these. Some of the painting is not great. I don't know why, because I used to do it, no problem, but for whatever reason, some of it's really shoddy, and I'm not quite sure why. I think probably I was rushing through trying to get it done, because I think in that stream I got 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh yeah, I painted like 4 Lehman Russes. I got the colours down on 4 Lehman Russes. And the metallics, but the metallics are super shoddy on them, so they're going to be grimed up real good to hide that, because I'm lazy, frankly. Hello, J-Bond. Oh, I hope you start to feel better soon. Look after yourself. You know what? I think it was literally during lockdown. Me and Snipe and we're planning to do something, and then I got COVID, or they got COVID. Something happened. Oh yeah, it was Recenses, but then that was cancelled. So so I ended up not going. Well, there was nothing to go to. So the Soulblight, they were rushed because of going to Facehammer, and the Mega Gargants were also rushed because of going to Facehammer. That seems to be the only way to get me to finish painting armies. That's it. I have to finish painting armies because otherwise I can't go to the tournament that I'm supposed to go to. That's the only way to get me to finish. And now Mikey's invited me to his tournament, so I've got to finish the tank army so I can take it to a tournament. Okay, this is not a great way to do things, is it? This is not ideal. It's not the way to go, to be honest. I'm also trying to get a bunch of Underworld stuff painted because I want to take it to Warhammer World so I can be taught how to play Underworlds properly. Yeah, that's all sorted, Dunra. But also I'm trying to magnetize a bunch of stuff too. Cause hang on. Ugh. I've got some Warmag stuff. Warmag have sent me some stuff. So I've got 2 Underworld's warbands there, but I need to paint one model, literally one model. I need to paint this lad, and then I'll have 2 Underworld's warbands there, and then I've got another 2 warbands to paint. I've got Hexbane's Hunters, and I've got the Crimson Court to paint as well. And I think I've also I've got the Wormspat ones as well. I've got the Wormspat ones too, so I need them. I need to finish painting them. But I'm well impressed with this. Like, Garth, look, like you can't even see it. You can't see the magnet at all. Oh, you don't need to be frightened. It's all good. It's all good. It's fine. Look, you can go wild with it. You can go absolutely wild. It's fine. It's literally good. I tell you what, I'm massively impressed with the Warmag stuff because I've magnetized the entire Soulblight Gravelords army over there. All of that's magnetized, but they're just normal magnets that I've superglued onto the bottom, and they do work, but they're nowhere near, like, the contact obviously on these is way better because it's a full magnet on the underside. So because it's a full one that covers the entire underside of the base, they just do not come off. It's absolutely great. So yeah, I'm well impressed with this. Well impressed with it. They just don't go anywhere. It's awesome. The only downside is that some of these are a bit too tall. Just a little bit too tall, which is my own fault. They shouldn't be as tall as they are, but I've added stuff to them. But then again, there's another box over there that's slightly taller. So yeah, I've got all of that to sort out. But I mean, to be honest, I'm thinking with Hexbane's Hunters, we kind of do a more stylized thing, because that could be quite fun. Do a kind of grimdark stylized paint scheme for that. Make it a bit like Mordheim. Nah, damn it. Yeah, a bit just fell off one of them, and I've been trying to fix it, but it don't want to be fixed. Oh, that's what I've done before, Lee. the way I've transported all of the Soulblight Gravelord was with magnets and magnetic sheets and stuff. But it's just not as strong because the contact point is way bigger. It's just way more secure. Like, you can do it yourself, totally. You can easily just buy a bunch of magnets. But the thing I'm liking with what they've sent over to me, Warmag, is the fact that they are magnets that are cut to fit inside the base, and they are completely, like, they fill the entire inside of the base, so it's just a lot more secure. Which I think you probably could do if you're prepared to cut stuff out yourself, but I don't know how to do that, and that's a lot more time consuming. Hello, Merlin. Stop me, I'm looking at Station Forge Grimguard now. I'm afraid I can't stop you there. You're just gonna have to do it. There's no alternative. One Mr. Ghost, can you share your army list for your tank army? It's 7 Lehman Russes, 1 Baneblade, and 2 Knight Armigers. Because I'm not clever. Yeah, so I tell you what, for Wednesday's stream, should we paint Hexbane's Hunters? Should we do that? Because I can prime them before then. I can prime them. Yes, World of Weebcraft, you should buy Usharan. Was that not the answer you were looking for? Was that not what you wanted? Sorry, that probably didn't help there, did I? But yeah, the answer is yes. Okay, hang on. I've seen a name like a couple of times. Endrid Har. Endrid Har. Okay. I haven't actually looked at stuff for a little bit because I've not been all that well. Should we have a look now? Should we do a live? Should we do a live one? Shall I record it? Okay, I'm going to record it because I've not actually looked at this yet. So now that we're mostly alive, mostly here, let's go. Let's have a look. Okay. Let me move down a little bit in my chair because my head's being cut off. Right. How far down is he? Where was he? Was he Thursday? Was he Thursday or Friday? Be Thursday, right? Oh, yeah, don't forget to hydrate. That's very important, actually, because it's the only thing keeping me awake. Okay, right, there. Oh, hello. Wow. Okay, initial thing there is, oh my god, how thick is the armour? So, Endrid Hart punches the heads off World Eaters in the battle for Beta Garmin. Beta Garmin? Beta? I don't know. Which one is it? Which way round is it? One of them is American, one of them is English, and I don't know which one's which. So, imagine how mad you'd be if you disappeared during the Great Crusade, only to come back and find your legion and cast their lot in with a traitor and turn their backs on the Emperor. Pretty annoyed, probably. Now imagine you're a warrior of the 12th Legion and not exactly the coolest head in their ranks to start with. Wait, he was not the coolest head in their ranks, and the ranks we're talking about is World Eaters. Just how uncool was his head, out of interest? Because I feel like that would be impressively uncool, right? Impressively uncool. Beta, okay. They pronounce it beta in the audiobooks. Well, that's not helpful, is it? That's not helpful. The staunchly loyal leader of the Fangs of the Emperor, solid name, is a key player in the battle for that place and comes loaded for battle with a brand new Forge World resin, obviously. Okay, oh, Jesus. Alright. Oh my god. This guy... Just the sheer girth on that armour is unreal. That's like, it's Mark V Heresy, isn't it? Got all the studs. We've got the sort of reinforcement bits on the shoulder and on the... That fist is absolutely massive. Is that a normal power fist? We're going to have to scroll down in a second, find another angle, because that looks That looks gigantic. Like, absolutely gigantic. Also, couple of things. I really like the kind of the battle damage on the armor. That's really cool. I like that a lot. But and this is only a small but. Is that how thick the armor plating is? Like the ceramite is on the armor? Because like that is significant. I thought it was thinner than that. Or is it normally thinner than that, but they've had to make it thicker to get the effect they wanted on this model? Well, I mean, could go either way. That is chunky, though. That is massively chunky. That shoulder pad looks absurdly big. But I don't think it's that much bigger than normal armour. So what? We've got a layer of... We've got like a layer of ceramite. Then you've got the kind of... sort of, I don't know, like skeleton of it underneath. That's not the right word. The skeleton of it. It's not the skeleton of it. You know what I mean? Like there's an underbit, and then there's a very, very thick layer of like ceramite or whatever. I mean, it looks really cool. He also looks incredibly angry. I think this is the most battle damaged Marine we've seen, right? This is easily the most battle damaged Marine. Also, hang on. Let's zoom in a little bit, because unless I'm being blind, which I don't think I am, that's a bit better anyway. No nails. No nails in the guy. That's cool. I like that. So presumably he disappeared. Like he disappeared during the Great Crusade, but before Angron had the nails put into all of his legion. That is fun. That's really fun. I like that. The totally black armor, so black shields, presumably. I like the little blue tilt shield as well. Is that like a little nod to the World Eaters colour scheme, maybe? He was away from the majority of the Crusade and never met Angron pre-betrayal. That's interesting. That's fun. I see, yeah, also... Not the coolest head in the World Eaters. He didn't even have nails. Presumably, he would have been an absolute lunatic. Just full-on psychopath murderer with the nails. Should he have been around when they were introduced. Yeah, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. It really does make it look like he leads with the right shoulder, doesn't it? He leads with the right shoulder. The right shoulder is what's taken the most beating. There are some more like cracks on the legs as well, though, so you can see like it's still not a skeleton. Frame, sure, frame, why not? He killed a Thunder Warrior with his bare hands. Dude is metal. That's solid. What a legend. Yeah, I like that. Also, the fact that the shoulder, like the World Eaters logo has just been blasted off it. It's just been destroyed in the course of fighting. Nothing to do with him trying to get rid of it, I don't think. Instead it's just been removed through fights. That's pretty cool. Also, the damage on the other pauldron where like it looks like one of the reinforcement studs is broken off. That's really fun. What the hell is that gun as well? It's that Volkite. Is it Volkite? It looks like it's got a magazine. But it's also not got... Oh, that's weird. Also, you totally want to drill that out, right? You totally want to do a bit of drilling. Just a little bit of drilling. You want that. You want that drilled. Because that right now looks a bit... Yeah. Overall, though, pretty solid. And he does look suitably angry. Okay, I want to know what that fist is. Let's have a look. So even before the Heresy stood apart from his fellow World Eaters, Terran born massive even among the Astartes. He has got the girth. He's absolutely got the girth. The extreme girth of like, what was Endrin Har? The extreme girth of him. Is it Endrin? Did I get that right? Endrid, sorry. Is Endrin something to do with the Votan? Either way, Endrin Har, he's got just the weight. He's got the weight. He's got the presence. One of the very first initiates created for his legion by the Imperial Gene Works. Oh my god! So it's like proper original. Har was absent from the Legion's reunion with the Primarch, and his entire command was eventually thought lost during the Great Crusade. But in a stroke of fortune, being MIA kept him from the Butcher's Nails, the Warrior Lodges, and the Purge. This is the luckiest dude in the Heresy. The luckiest Space Marine in the entire war. My god. How that... He must have been like... He must have got back and been like, what the fuck is all of this? What happened? How? I was gone for like 5 minutes, guys. Come on. So his loyalty to the Imperium never wavered. Excellent. Hero. Swore vengeance on the War Master and his former legion. I mean, you can kind of believe that he'd be able to carry that out with the size of him. Look at him. The so-called Riven Hound gathered similarly disaffected Space Marines together into the fangs of the Emperor. Yeah, Black Shield Warband. Okay, that's cool. That prioritised the pursuit of revenge over all else. Oh, love it. So, battle damage Mark 5 Heresy armour. Yep. Befitting the ramshackle supply lines of a Black Shield Warband. With most of its Legion iconography brutally scoured off, though his iron halo still bears the teeth of the world. I would argue that's not necessarily scoured off. That's just been shot off. That's just been fully shot off. It's been demolished off. It looks good though. Okay. Oh, the alternate angles. I love an alternate angle. Yeah, so he's got a massive crater in the other pauldron. He's missing a stud. I do like the way they've done that, actually. That's a nice little detail. The back of him, funnily enough, the back of him, barely touched. Barely touched. Not a scratch on it, because he doesn't run away. He only runs towards. Also, that power fist is definitely pretty meaty. It's definitely quite chunky. Yeah, this is good. This is nice. I want to know what that gun is, though. I really want to know what that gun is. It's so weird. Look, it's got hasn't it got a thing for? What the hell is that? What is it? Okay, let's have a glance. So Endrid Har carries an ancient Archaeotech pistol, but his real weapon is a brutal power fist, a terawatt pattern gauntlet. Sure. That can charge up its disruption nodes to trade attacks for added oomph, hitting it up to strength 12. Okay, nice. He also sports the unique fangs of the Emperor Warlord trait, allowing his squads to creep close to the enemy before battle, reflecting how the fangs would often disguise themselves as traitors to approach enemy lines before attacking without warning. That's some Alpha Legion shit. Love that. Okay, awesome. I like this. I like this guy. Yeah, that's a fun model. I'm really liking just the kind of the battle scarred, damaged nature of it. It's relatively plain armor. In fact, it is kind of. I mean, it is really quite plain. There's a little bit of decoration going on, sort of on the knee and on the back of the terawatt pattern power fist. But apart from the tilt shield and those little bits of iconography, overall it's pretty plain. It's just extremely beaten up. Like massively beaten up. It looks really good. I like that a lot. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Everyone in 40k has British accents, except the guy who sounds like the most American football player to ever America football. It's a disintegrator pistol. That makes sense. I ain't Liblet. No, I'm still here. Hello, Zane. How you doing? Oh yeah, maybe Endrin 2 is what I'm thinking, or Endrin Master, or yeah. That's great. I like that. That's a cool model. That's a really fun model. It's like I would love to know, like, proportionally, whether he is the same. He can't be right. He's got to be like bigger. He's got to be bigger than normal Mark V, like more like true scale, or like closer to. Either way, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's true. He is supposed to be large for an Astartes, so. When are they going to make? Right, here's a reference for you. When are they going to make a model of that fat space wolf from the Space Wolf novels? When Ragnar Blackmane was on Terra, and there was there was another space wolf who had like some sort of weird genetic issue that meant that he was a bit chunky and ate loads. Where's that? You've got no answer for me, have you? You know, you've got no answer. Where is it? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to see. The Stormseer console. Which one was that? Stormseer console. Have we missed another one? Did I miss one last week? No, I can't have missed two. I can't even find that. Or was that weeks ago and I really did miss a couple? I can't even find it. A month or so back. Oh my god. How did I miss that one? Blood Angel upgrades? No. Oh yeah, there's the old Bretonian Lord. The very old Bretonian Lord. Hello, Cub. Oh no. Kubred? Guard Wolf Round from 2nd edition? Maybe that? Was it Hager? It might have been Hager. All I remember, right, because I read those books quite a long time ago, all I remember is he was chunky and he liked a good meal. And he fought someone in a pub because he was eating and they disturbed him or something. Hager does sound right, actually. And then eventually they ended up under in the vaults of Terror, and they found navigators that were all mutated and stuff. That was Alpha Legion Saboteur. I can't even see the Storm console. I think I definitely missed it. Definitely missed it. Hager the Mountain was a member of the Wolfblade who served along with Ragnar Blackmane during his exile. That sounds right. That sounds like the lad. The absolute legend that guy was. Loved it. I'm being very blind. I'm also starting to get weird eye repetitions from scrolling so much. Didn't he get exiled? Now I'm trying to remember the story. So what? Ragnar got exiled, right? But he was on guard duty for a navigator. I want to say, was it a navigator or an astropath or their family or something that he had to protect? And wasn't Hager also maybe not exiled, but he was there because he was also they were we don't want this guy in the ranks because he's a bit of a he's a bit off. He's just a bit off comparatively, he's not supposed to be the way he is. It was something like that, wasn't it? Oh, now I kind of want to read those books again. I can't remember if they were good. Were they good? It's been so long. It's been so long since I've read those. I can't remember whether they were decent. I've not tried Helldivers 2, no. No, I can't. I want to at some point, but I think I'm going to wait until it calms down a bit. And until I can stay awake long enough to enjoy it. Oh. It's taking some getting used to, this. It's taking some getting used to. Hello, Gabriel. Yeah, I have Jestology. Basically, I was introduced to it by friends. They knew I liked sci-fi and stuff, and they introduced me to it, taught me how to play. I think, if I remember correctly, it was like a free for all, three of us. Terrible way to learn how to play because the game isn't balanced for that, but it was a lot of fun. Somehow, here we are. Bit mad, really. That save didn't work, Alexian. I lost the save. It got corrupted somehow, so I'd have to make them all again, although it is tempting. Maybe that's a stream idea. We can go on the adventures of... What did I call the team? Team Girth. You can tell that I'm going, can't you? House Belisarius is a navigator house on Terra. That's interesting. That's pretty funny. A day in the life of Team Girth would be pretty funny, to be fair. A day in the life. Oh, do we reckon? I tell you what. Do we reckon that we're going to see a? Do we reckon that we're going to see a model reveal today? I mean, it is Monday. I think, did they do one last Monday? I think they did, didn't they? Yeah, it was the Shaper. It was the Kroot Shaper. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be Kroot again, isn't it? It's probably going to be Kroot again. I'd be surprised if, yeah, more Kroot this week. Okay, all right. That'll be sometime, probably sometime a bit later, I'd have thought. This afternoon? It's usually this afternoon. Well, you're going to end up with 2 videos today then, because I'll cut together the I'll cut together Endrid Har, and then we'll also have Kroot. So that'll be fun. We've rummaged around and found another lovely Kroot to reveal to you all. I mean, I quite like that as a little... Oh, you know what? That's reminded me, actually. That's reminded me. There was something I was a bit gutted I didn't get to do. So... Oh, where was it? Where was the reveal? Where was the reveal? Was it last week? Or was it this week? It was the 2 new boxes. There'd been 2 boxes revealed, right? For... I think it was for Cities of Sigmar and for Flesh Eater Courts. Where was that? I'm sure they did an article about it, didn't they? The 2 new... I cannot find that article. It was Monday. Was it really? Where the... I'm probably I'm probably just failing to see it. Last Monday, so Crute Shaper, 12th of February. Then there's the Law of Legions Imperialis. So where's the... what? I can't even see it. That's annoying. You know what? I can't even see that on here. Maybe I'm... maybe I'm being blind. I'm probably being blind. At least I can search for it, though. I'm getting the ding. I'm getting the ding that says that there's no... that there's no... Okay, just so you know I'm not being mad, right? Look at this. So we've got Crute. We've got the Law of Legions Imperialis. If I search for... What's happening? Do you have access to a different site than me? Where is it? Oh, should we try all news? Let's try all news. It's gone. Oh. Oh, I see. Well. Imagine that. It's not just me then, is it? Okay. Alright. Why is it gone? I mean, that's not helpful. I was going to look at it. I was going to look at it, and it's gone. Get out of here. Maybe it's... I know where I am. I wonder if it's here already. Okay, they've got rid of it. Okay. No, I was just going to have a quick look and see whether it was already here, but it's not. I mean, if they put it out early and then I had to get... Oh, yeah. What the... Why? So, hang on. All of this was available on the main thing. But... this wasn't. Okay. This annoyed me, right? Because I was going to make this video. And I was going to straight face it like you wouldn't believe. And it was going to be in a similar vein of like, this is a betrayal by Games Workshop, where I was just going to... I was just going to be like, Games Workshop are getting extremely lazy. Like, extremely lazy. Because we're at a point now where they're just releasing the same box twice and telling us that it's different products. And it's not. And I don't think that they should be able to get away with just... you know, repeatedly releasing exactly the same thing twice. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be honest about what they're doing instead of trying to fob us off with the same product in two different boxes and be completely straight-faced about it. But then I was ill and I couldn't do it. But I was all prepared for like a good like 5 minutes of just blindly claiming these two were the same thing. The thing is, I know full well that, you know, Flesh Eater Court's like followers or like fans would have got it and been like, oh, it's funny because the Flesh Eater Courts think they're like noblemen and they have the grand illusion. Everyone else, I'd imagine, would have just been incredibly annoyed. But I was all prepared to go for it. I was all prepared to do it, and then I wasn't able to. But yet another one of those videos that I would have found very funny, and probably no one else would. Hello, Synergy. How you doing? Hello, Des. You're right. Oh. But yeah, I was all ready. I was all set up and ready to go. And then I was ill and I couldn't do it. It would have been pretty funny though. Oh, thank you very much, Des. Yeah, the Flash Eater courts are great, Mr. Ghost. They're fantastic. Like, I really like what Games Workshop have done with them. Having the grand illusion and having them make them think they're something they're not and see themselves as something, noble, and like expanding that with the newer models where they have like a judge. And yeah, I mean, they're great. They're absolutely great. Some of the most interesting lore for me. But I really like that kind of I don't know what the best way to describe it is, but that kind of
KIRIOTH live stomp stomp.
Wow, she really, thank you very much, Quiet Before. Doreen really struggled there. Really struggled. She didn't know what to make of the name in all caps, did she? Yeah, they're fantastic, and I kind of just liked the idea of drawing that parallel and claiming they're exactly the same thing. But I think the time has passed. I think it's a bit late for that now. I don't reckon that's no longer a timely joke. That's just it's a bit late. It's a bit late, isn't it? I suppose if I don't get done what I want to do tomorrow, I can always pull it out of the bag as a last minute stand in. But yeah. No, thank you very much, Keith. That's flown over. I do like the flesh court. Oh, you know what, David? My the screen name, and this is the worst like origin story for something that has ended up being synonymous with you as a person, and what you do. I used to play World of Warcraft. I had a rogue. I had a rogue in World of Warcraft called Carnival, and I decided that I didn't want to play rogue no more. I was sick of being DPS, and also the build that I liked wasn't good anyway. So I was going to play something different. So I decided that I was going to play a paladin. Now, when you searched for Carnival on the World of Warcraft Armory, it had like I think the the max was 29 pages of like 50 results. So it was an absurd number. Like there were hundreds upon hundreds of characters called Carnival. And I was like, I don't want a name that everyone else has got, especially since it makes it a pain for me to look it up. So I'm going to try and find a name that no one else has got. So when I started my Blood Elf Paladin, I decided to go to various name sites that are like name suggestions and stuff. Find ones that I liked, then I would put them into the armory and see if they returned any results. And for the most part, I found ones that were like, maybe 10 or 11 results. I found a few that had like loads. And then I found Kirioth. And Kirioth had no results on the armory. No one in World of Warcraft, from what I could tell, was using that name. So I used it for my character. Then, later on, started a blog with a friend of mine who, like, we used to do a YouTube channel together. We started a blog about World of Warcraft where we wrote under the character names of Kirioth and Stylosa, and then we moved on to other games and we stuck with those names. And then we started the channel, and I was still using that screen name. And then I had my channel, and it was, under my screen name, and I just never changed it. So it was literally the only reason that the channel and now me, whether I like it or not, the only reason that it's that name is because I sat there for like, I don't know, like 10-15 minutes putting random names off some website into the World of Warcraft armory to make sure that no one else was using it, and then I just never stopped using it. It's the worst. It's terrible. There's no personal meaning to it. There's no like it's not like kind of, oh yeah, it really spoke to me. It was just I'm bloody sick of putting my character name in and not being able to find myself for like 3 pages or whatever. I'm gonna find a name no one else uses and use that. And that was it. Terrible. And yeah, by the time I like actually started posting on my own channel, I was like, well, I'm not gonna change it, am I? I'm gonna change. I'm not gonna change it because that's what it is. So I'm just gonna leave it. So yeah. I still know people by their World of Warcraft character name. Like I still talk to people, and the only name I know them by is the character that they like, the character name that they use the most on World of Warcraft. It's kind of mad how big an impact that game had. I've yet to play Kill Team AdMech Player. I need to. I'd like to, but I've yet to get around to it. Along with so many others. Oh yeah. Okay. I had an idea, right? I've got what's it called? Ow, what is that? Oh, that's just oh, hey, this is my first WoW name I used. See? We're everywhere. we're everywhere. So, I've got nearly finished editing it. So the reason that the Malifaux video for the Hush models that I got has taken so long to put together is because I had massive issues with the actual video. So the camera I was using, it just like the frame rate just kept collapsing. So it's been an absolute nightmare trying to sort it out, and it's taken forever. But I think I've pretty much sorted it now. I had a thought, right? We could do a series on this channel, not on the hobby channel. The hobby channel is going to be about kit bashing and painting, and like, you know, fun terrain and scenery projects and stuff. But since this channel is quite model focused, but is more sort of Warhammer focused, whereas the hobby channel is just going to be whatever I'm working on, I thought, what do you reckon to the idea of doing like a kind of long running but sporadic series where we take a look at like different kits, compare them to what we're used to, which is like 40k Games Workshop, because like most of us, Games Workshop is most of our hobby, but there's a bunch of really fun models and kits out there that have got nothing to do with it. So I was thinking I still need to do the voiceover for the Malifaux video of putting those models together. I thought a slant on that would be like, this is a company that I've not put stuff together from before, but I also have other things from other companies that are still plastic miniatures or still resin miniatures. How do they compare to what we're used to as primarily Games Workshop players? So things like, I've put together a whole bunch of tanks, right? There's 4 up there, there's 4 there, but I also have this bad boy right here. So I've got a Wolverine tank from Archon Studio. What is it like? What's the experience like comparatively putting this thing together compared to putting a Leman Russ together? Similar sized vehicles. You know, how is it comparatively speaking? So I've got this. I've got a bunch of goblins from Shield Wolf Miniatures. I've got the Malifaux stuff. I've got character models from. I've got character models from Archon Studio as well. I have stuff from Raging Heroes. In fact, I've got a bag. I've got a bag of basically Seraphim. I mean, this is how it arrived. Amazing. From Raging Heroes. So, yeah, like just like an ongoing, not particularly regular series, but just comparing newer stuff or stuff that I'm putting together to what we're used to, you know? If that's something that sounds interesting and like fun and something that you'd lot would watch, then I'll do it. Because I want to do something with those anyway. The camera that I used at the time, I can't remember what it was, but it was knackered and it didn't work properly. The camera that I've got now is Canon M50 Mark II. So, a lot better. Way better than what I was using before. But yeah, if that sounds like fun, if that sounds like something that would be worth having a go at, then we'll do that. But yeah, I wouldn't put that stuff on the hobby channel. I want the hobby channel to be more like just more actual projects. So once the models are put together, then yeah, I'll paint them on the hobby channel. But yeah, I really want to finally get into, third-party companies and showcasing more stuff to do with them. I'm very guilty of, like, in the past being like, yeah, we're going to talk about more than just Games Workshop, and then never really talking about more than just Games Workshop. I mean, we occasionally talk about, like, 3D printing stuff, but I really want to get my... Frankly, I want to get my shit together and talk about all the other stuff that's out there, because there's so many cool things out there, and frankly, a lot of it doesn't get any attention. And it's daft, because I have them, so why not do something with them, you know? Yeah, Dunro. I mean, I want to talk about God Tier, because I really like that game as well. I want to talk about God Tier more. Some point on the hobby channel. Need to paint this absolute freak of nature. I love this guy. Kind of hard to see him. Doreen is working, Alec man, yeah. He's great. Hang on, let me oh god. Smack that. Let's zoom in a bit. Let's get him there. And oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so Dark Souls. So Dark Souls. So Elden Ring. So cool. Oh, that was pretty. No. There we go. There we go. Sorted. That's from Bestiara Miniatures. And I'm loving it. Loving Bestiara Miniatures at the moment. Especially since hang on. I've really got to find out what I'm allowed to talk about and what I'm not allowed to talk about before I start talking about stuff on stream. Well, I don't think... No, it's not breaking any sort of agreement to say that I'm talking to Bestiara Miniatures at the moment. That's fine. I think that's fine. I'm not going to tell you what about. I'm not going to tell you why. I'm not going to tell you what's involved. Just that we're talking. That's it. But I'm... Oh, God, I love Bestiarum. I absolutely love them. They're so good. There's another model that I'm so close to finishing that sadly I didn't record the start of painting. Thanks, Alec, man. Just E. That I mean, I wondered what it was going to be. Didn't disappoint, actually. Didn't disappoint. Might be a little bit dusty, and there's a lot of blending that still needs to happen. But this, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah. Absolutely disgusting. It's so good. Big fan of this one. I've yet to throw it at my players in D&D, but they're going to have to deal with this at some point. And it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Got a whole bunch of these. Whole bunch already painted, and this one's not finished. It's not finished yet. Need to get some highlights. Need to sort out the blending on the cloak. Need to get some more rust on. But I tell you what, do you want the close up? You probably don't want the close up, to be fair. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Nope, too far the other way. Come on. Focus. Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. And that's why I like it. And the thing is, they're doing more. They've done more from that range as well, which just makes me extra happy. Like, if we have a look at these, this is from the same range. Now look at this lad. Look at this lad. Look at him. Look at him go. It's a very sad horse. I mean, to be fair, I don't blame the horse. I'd be pretty sad. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. Bestiary miniatures, like, very, very, very rarely miss. Very rarely. This is a tree. It's a tree, but look at it. Oh. At some point, I'm gonna plump for printing one of these. I mean, we were talking about tanks earlier. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Absolutely incredible. They do some tasty miniatures. Also, this guy, absolutely solid. And chunky, very chunky. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Bestiary miniatures. I've printed like more of their stuff than anyone else's, especially they do D&D characters, and I printed a lot of those. Oh yeah, this guy. I've got this guy ready to go on a build plate. I should do that this week. I should do it this week. What a legend. You ever just taken a cannon with you into combat on your arm? You ever done that? Just a guy. That guy has. Oh, I also have these ready to print too. In fact, they're all on the same plate. They're all on the same plate. I've got this ready to go. Like, the lack of face is horrific. It's so good. But yeah, I've got these ready to print. All on the same plate as the guy with the cannon. Conquest Last Argument of Kings. No, I've not heard of that before. Hang on, let me have a look. Conquest Last Argument. Last Argument is an interesting... Oh, Parabellum. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, no, I have heard of Conquest. Yeah, I've heard of Conquest. I didn't realise that was the full name of it, if that makes sense. So like I knew of it. I knew of it, but I didn't realise that was the full title. Yeah, there's some of this stuff, like some of the Conquest stuff. Um, I've seen a couple of their miniatures and really like the look of them. Like really like the look of them. There's a line they do. It's like Undead. This is a terrible way to describe it. It's like Undead, but they've got like a really interesting. What is it? Is it Old Dominion? Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. No, I've seen these before, like these miniatures, because I really like the look of these. There's some super interesting stuff going on with this range. Some really interesting stuff that I really like. I should get in. I should talk. I should email them. Yeah, like the bone golems and stuff. Like this is very much my sort of this is very much my sort of thing. This is the kind of thing I really like. Like these kind of living statues. I love that. That's great. You never heard of Clack? Just Clack. It's all Clack now. Yeah. No, yeah. So I'd heard of Conquest. I didn't realise that was the full title of it. But yeah, especially the Old Dominion. I've seen their models like show up a few times, and I've been really impressed every time they've kind of crossed my timeline, so to speak. Oh no, are they full plastics as well? So they're not. Oh, I kind of assumed it'd be resin, but no, full plastics. Ooh, are they sprue or do they just arrive in the box? Oh, mind you, dual kit, so they must be sprue. Huh. Okay, that's awesome. Well, I mean that's another video, isn't it? That's another one. So we've got the tank, we've got the shield wolf goblins, we've got the hush box from Malifaux. I have to pick up. Oh, it might have to be the. Oh, I don't know. Oh, all of the Old Dominion stuff looks so good. That's that's really fun. Looks like there's a lot to choose from. Oh my god. Spires? What the hell is going on with Spires? Oh, hang on a second. Well, I mean, Old Dominion is very much my sort of thing, but I mean, to be fair, also, what the hell is this? I'm not going to be grabbing this immediately because that's a lot of money, but that is horrendous. That is horrendous. Yeah. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, so one monster resin miniature. So seems to depend on like the size of it. 3 plastic. Oh, these are really cool too. Man, this game's got like a really cool visual style. Bound clones, body horror space elves. That's really fun. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in this. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Oh, faction taster. That's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea. So you get a few models from a few different kits. That's really cool. Oh, they've got orcs too. Is that is that the orc? One of the orcs. I need to move the camera in this view because I'm off to one side. That's just a note to myself. What is it? Wardrin? You get a few models, but not enough for a full unit in the main war game. Okay. That's pretty badass. Ooh, that is pretty badass. Okay. Yeah, this is cool. Holy moly. That's... Oh my god. Jeez, that's chunky. And plastic as well. Huh. See you later, Raging Modeler. Oh, I hope things look up and you don't lose. You don't have another car taken away from you. Yeah, these are really interesting. Okay, well that's a rabbit hole to go down, isn't it? That's a rabbit hole to go down. One-player starter sets as well. Whoa. So that's just a full army in a box. Yeah, that is definitely a rabbit hole to well and truly sink into. Awesome. Okay. Well, there's a lot of companies to investigate, aren't there? Oh, I'm already familiar with RTLW. I've got a few RTLW models actually. Although I think they're all assembled and painted, so I'd have to get another one just to, just to film with. That's all. Yeah, I mean RTLW are pretty cool. A lot of it is it's totally not Warhammer 40,000. Totally not Warhammer 40,000. But they are still well sculpted and they do look cool. There's another one like that I can't remember the name of. Sorry. This is the thing, though. There's just so much cool stuff out there. So much cool stuff that we need to start highlighting more of it, And by we, I mean me. I've been meaning to watch that, actually, David. I've been meaning to watch that. The law is that they were literally created by the spies to be a bodyguard race, but when the Dwarves attacked, they just set them loose, and when they won, they became independent. That's cool. Hello, Rajin. Rajin? Oh, I'm just so bad at pronunciation, even of just English. To be fair. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to be sensible. And I think we're going to call it there because I've started to get very tired suddenly. And I think it's probably showing. But we've had a good hour. Wait, how long have we been going? Oh, 2 hours 16. Okay, alright. We've had way more time than I thought than I was going to manage. That's alright. We've done okay there, haven't we? We've done alright there. Right, going to be sensible. Going to go and have something to eat, and then probably have a nap. Did you know I'm not 80? Bet you didn't. That it's not a 24-hour stream. I thought it was going to be a 24-minute stream, but we've done so much better than that. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining me on this return to being alive. Mostly. There will hopefully be a couple of videos today. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We've already recorded one, but we'll see what happens with the second one. Let's not push it too hard, given the state I was in last week. So, oh, look at that. Just finished the Scar Veteran, just primed them. The timing. The timing. Amazing. Right. I will see you on Wednesday for the next live stream, and there will be a couple of videos in between now and then. Thank you very much for watching, all of you. I'll see you next time.